Hello, and welcome to That Girl Magic, the podcast where we explore the transformative power of wellness, self improvement, and magic. I am your host, Karina Franco, and I'm thrilled to embark on this journey of discovery with you.
Hey, hey, hey. This would not be That Girl Magic without a good That Girl habit. Okay, so you guys, I've talked about this before. I want to be a beacon in this podcast for just plain old advice and anything that has to do with girls and habits and helping yourself and changing yourself and improving every single aspect of your life. So, how about we talk about some that girl habits? So, things that the people, not only around me or people online and people that feel the best possible tend to do help themselves to be the best version of themselves. So I compiled a couple of habits and we're going to go through all of them and have a little bit of a talk about them. So let us get started. So starting off with health and fitness, exercise 3+ times per week. That's a very obvious one. A lot of people focus on working out because working out can raise your heart rate. By raising your heart rate, you're going to help with your cardiovascular health. It's also mood boosting. It helps maintain your joints nice and healthy, besides helping maintain your balance, your coordination, and it's also a great tool to be able to maintain your weight or even drop weight or increase weight depending on your goal. Another thing is eating balanced and nutritious meals. So, what that means is making sure that you do something like the 80/20 rule, which you eat 80% of your food healthy and 20% you do whatever you wish. It's basically creating a routine where most of your food is going to be home cooked, well balanced, making sure you get enough protein, enough veggies, enough fats, enough fiber, enough water as well. I was going to get into that later, but let's go ahead. Drinking 2+ liters of water because that's going to help with your health overall. Another thing is sleeping 8 hours. A lot of people don't focus on actually getting good, proper sleep. It's actually shown in studies that the best sleep is the one that you can do before midnight, and that has to do with the whole circadian rhythm thing, which basically dictates that we all have a rhythm, almost like an internal clock when it comes to sleep. So this is actually a really, really great tool. Is make sure that you get a portion of your hours, or at least part of your hours, done before midnight when it comes to sleep. That will actually help you to be able to not only wake up earlier, but also to get a better sleep. Another thing is regular health screening. So something that I've come to notice about people that want to be the best version of themselves is that they tend to go to the doctor more often. They tend to do exams more often. They tend to check how they are with themselves more often. So, for example, we always heard the dentist say that you should come every 3 to 6 months. That's something that people should actually do is every 3 to 6 months go to the dentist and get yourself a clean and get yourself a checkup. Same thing with your regular doctor. Every 6 months, going to your regular doctor, getting some blood work done. If you have a particular health issue, getting that tested, not letting things drag when you see something that is odd or weird, out of place. Because, no joke, the ones that tend to heal from the biggest of issues, stuff like cancers and tumors, is because they caught it really, really early. They were very much on top of their health, and that allowed them to figure it out really, really soon. So make sure to do health screenings. Going on to finances, set and stick to a budget. So if you know the income that you take, stick to a budget. Don't spend much more than that. I'll add to that and say save a percentage of your income. So part of your income, put it aside. You could also build an investment portfolio. So pick some investments, get maybe someone to help you out with it, track your spendings, make sure that you know where you're spending your money, where your money is going. If you have subscriptions that you're not using, cancel them. If you're paying for things that you know that you can do at home or you can cut on, go ahead and cut it on. And also educate yourself financially. So learn about how finances work, how investments work, the different types of stuff within the the financial world. When it comes to your environment, declutter regularly. We always find stuff that we don't use anymore that we can give to friends or family that we can just stop using for a reason or another. So go ahead and declutter regularly. Also create a comfortable space. You should feel comfortable in your environment. You should feel not only comfortable physically but also mentally. It should be a space where you can relax and feel like you can just put your shoulders down and take a breather. So go ahead and create a comfortable space in your home. Also, adopt eco-friendly practices. I find that there's ways to not be as wasteful. One of my personal favorite ways is composting. So instead of me throwing away scraps of food, for example, I love saving up scraps of like veggie stuff like carrots, garlic, onions. Those little scraps, you could actually put it in a bag and freeze it and then have it as a base for stock. You could do the same thing with chicken bones, with meat bones to make a bone broth. You could do the same with the fish bones and use it and the shells for a fish broth, for example. That's like one way of like reusing it, and then you can put that into a compost, and that compost can then create a base for you to then grow more food, which is the cool part, or give to people that you know that grow their own food. So that's one way. And also optimize your space for productivity. What I mean by that is that sometimes people utilize the same space for multiple things, but they don't know how to separate them to be able to use them. What I mean by that is, I can give you the example. My room is where I record this podcast, is where I sleep, and it's where I leisure. How do I separate that? Everything that has to do with work is in the area of my desk. So all my tools, all my things, all my knickknacks, they're all where my desk is. So I don't need to move away from my desk to do my tasks. The area where my leisure is, it's all in that one spot. Same thing with my bed. So the area of my bed and the area surrounding my bed is all designed to be comfortable, to be relaxing. And I do not sit in my bed to work. I have my desk and I sit at my desk and I do not bring it to work, which is also a trick that I did. I know this may not work for a lot of people, but I actually have a physical desktop. I don't have a laptop. That forced me to work at my desk instead of working at my bed, because what came to happen is every single time I used a laptop and I worked at my bed, I could not fall asleep because I was associating it with using my laptop. So ever since I started associating my desk with using the PC, and then bed became just, I'm relaxed. Okay, going on to family and friends. So meet and talk with them regularly. Make sure that you continue maintaining the relationships and keeping a line of communication. Practice active listening. A lot of people don't really listen the way that it's supposed to be. The way they're supposed to listen to people. I find that active listening is when you're actively paying attention to the person and reacting to what they're saying. Also, plan regular outings. Like, what was the last time that you invited maybe your sibling or your parent to just hang out with them for a couple of hours and go out to do something that you both like or they like? Also, express gratitude. Express gratitude to the people that help you on your journey or help you on a daily basis, because we don't know how long we're going to have them in our lives. An expression that I heard recently is, we are 90 to 95% of our dog's memories. So imagine this, if we're 90 to 95% of our dog's memories, imagine what we are to other people in our lives. Even if we're just 30% of their memories, imagine being 30% of someone's memories. Just express your gratitude to the fact that they exist in your life. Because I find, for example, and I'm going to go on a tangent here. I find that, for example, as kids, we first look at our parents as like ideology. As teenagers, we hate them. As adults, we love them. As older adults and elderly, when we lose them, we want them back. Be aware, this is the typical person. So appreciate the people in your life while you have them in your life, because once you don't have them anymore, you will not be able to tell them that you appreciate them. So if there's that one person that you have been wanting to hang out with them for a while because you miss them, or because you really want to hang out with them, or you want to resolve something with them and start everything with a clean slate, this is your message to do it now. Also, since we're talking about resolution, practice conflict resolution. So make sure that if you have an issue with someone, you communicate that issue and explain your side and hear theirs, so that you're able to resolve the situation without a conflict. Another thing that we're going to go ahead and talk about is career. So when it comes to career, is set professional goals. So set the things that you really want to achieve in your career. Continue to learn as well. Like, learn constantly. There's always something to improve. If someone tells you a criticism and teaches you something new, absorb it. Believe me, you'll be able to use that no matter what. Also, if you have the opportunity to network, go ahead and network. Networking allows you to be able to grow more quickly and to learn a lot more. So don't pass on the chance to network. Also, if you have people that you can get feedback, so people above you or people that have more knowledge than you, seek feedback. Seek to know what you're doing wrong and fix it. And once you fix it, get the feedback again to see what else you need to fix again. So you keep this feedback loop. Also, maintain work life balance. No matter how much you want something in your career, you must maintain work life balance, because you'll just reach a point where you'll feel like your life is just about work, and life is not just about work. Work and career is a portion of it, not all of it. So go ahead and enjoy your life at the same time that you build your career. So create boundaries. When it comes to your personal growth, read daily. Find things to read. It could be an article, it could be a book, it could be whatever. Find stuff to read daily, stuff to learn daily. Set personal goals. So set goals to be able to achieve on your personal life. Expand your knowledge. So make sure that if you want to learn something new, try something new, experience something new, go ahead and do it. Also, self reflection. A lot of people don't self reflect that often. A really great thing to do on a weekly basis or even in a monthly basis is look back at that week or look back at that month and be like, okay, what did I do? What didn't I do? How did that month go? What could I do better? What have I done that made me feel better? What have I implemented that I want to keep? And what have I implemented that I want to kick off? Doing stuff like that will allow you to grow at a more personal level. And since we're into that, learn new skills, learn a new language, learn a new PC program, learn something that you could turn into a hobby, learn something that you're lacking on. So, for example, in the health and fitness, if you don't know how to cook, go learn how to cook. When it comes to your career, learn a skill for your career. For your finances, educate yourself in finances. Learn how to organizing techniques. And then, since we're talking about all kinds of stuff like that, recreation and fun. So for recreation and fun, explore new hobbies. So find something new for you to add to your hobby repertoire, that can make you just like have this feeling, not only of communion, but of like happiness and excitement. I would say also plan trips regularly. It's something that I see in a lot of people that have reached a certain level in their life, is that they would rather go on a trip, even if it's like a local trip, like across town, versus like busting all of their money like on expensive stuff. They would rather get the memories and the moments and the growth than to get a physical object, because that won't take you very far in changing certain aspects of yourself. Also, engage in group activities. So, for example, if you are attached to a gym, why don't you do a weekly like a class, like a group class, to try to like engage with people maybe outside of your circle. Also, creative pursuits, like be creative, like write, read, paint, draw, whatever you feel like it could be creative. Go ahead and engage with it, because it really helps also with your mind. Music, in particular, is associated with a higher cognitive maintenance, for example. So, a lot of people that tend to be engaged with music or with dancing or some sort of creative activity tends to maintain their cognitive function for longer in comparison with those that don't. Also, create time to relax. A lot of people don't create time to just do nothing, to just relax and just be them. Going out to romance, and I want to leave this one for last for a reason, and that is because I'm not talking about romance towards others alone. I'm talking about romance to yourself, okay? So besides doing stuff like planning weekly date nights, showing appreciation towards others, support each other's goals, practice open communication and hone communication. I'm also talking about dating yourself, loving yourself, taking yourself into a solo date, appreciating yourself, romance yourself. Because I find that a lot of people, they focus so much on others. The reason why I want to talk about these habits is because if you go back and you listen to it, see what I did? If you listen to it, you'll see that they're all about you. They're all about focusing on you, becoming the best version of yourself, to the point that the slogan of my podcast is empowering to be your best magical self. And that's exactly what I mean, is make sure that you become the best version of yourself. The whole point of the why I do what I do is to empower you to create those micro changes that create the macro changes, and I find that a lot of people seem to be scared of doing those changes, but sometimes that small little change can create a big difference. So, on the romance, besides, of course, if you have a partner, go ahead and plan dates, show appreciation, and practice and hone communication and support each other. You should love yourself first and foremost, because how the hell are you going to love somebody else if you don't love yourself? That's the truth. So that was the that girl habits, or the best version of yourself habits, that I have compiled from seeing other creators, other people, and people around in my life and my vicinities, and also from books. This is what I have compiled in terms of what tends to pop out the most. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and follow the podcast and follow my Instagram account at thatgirl.magic, and my personal Instagram at I am Karina Franco. And if you guys also enjoyed it, go ahead and rate and follow the podcast and leave a wonderful comment. See you guys next time. Love ya.
Don't forget to follow That Girl Magic to stay updated on new episodes. Let's unleash our inner magic and create the life of our dreams. I'll see you in the next episode.